A virtual local area network is much like a local area network, but does not need devices to be in the same physical location. So virtual local area network, or VLAN, can group devices regardless of physical space, which makes it ideal for a cloud environment. In a cloud environment, a VLAN can be created with devices located across the globe, or even with virtual machines hosted in a cloud environment. VLANs are used to group systems and group devices based on similar business functions, or to have them grouped in a network so that they can communicate with one another pretty easily. Virtualization is the process of hosting virtual machines using a host machine. One host can host multiple virtual machines. And this is one of the main reasons why cloud computing is so cost effective. Virtualization allows for many different hosts to be, many different virtual machines to be created using a single host. And oftentimes hosts are combined in a term known as clustering to provide failover capabilities for those virtual machines. So if one host goes down, all the virtual machines will switch over to the other server within that cluster. Because if the host goes down, all of the virtual machines will go down as well. That's one of the risks associated with virtual machines. Another risk is known as guest escape, where an individual or a user of one aspect or one virtual machine can compromise the hypervisor and then perform attacks on other virtual machines or gain access to other data within different data segments or different virtual machines hosted by the same host. VM sprawl can occur when virtual machines are neglected or they're left onto a host and not utilized. This can eat up excess resources and create a scenario where older, outdated VMs are left on a host that could then be exploited by attackers. A software-defined network uses virtualization to route network traffic rather than using a physical device like a router or a switch. A software-defined network separates the data and the control planes, which we'll talk about later in Domain 5, but the data plane, if you're not familiar with networking planes, contains rules on how to forward and block traffic with a software-defined network, and a control plane contains rules on which paths the data should take. Okay, so the control plane is more of the interface to the software-defined network, and the data plane contains the actual rules. Instead of ACLs, like a firewall, software-defined networks use attribute-based access control, or ABAC, which we talked about recently, to control access. Network security groups are basically virtual firewalls. They use ACLs and allow and deny rules alongside virtual LANs. So network security groups act essentially like a firewall without the need for a physical firewall device. And once you configure a network security group for a virtual LAN, you can then apply that network security group to multiple VLANs as a set of configuration settings. So network security groups are widely used in cloud computing alongside those VLANs.